Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
I'm Susan Gallagher, and I play the sassy homeless Lynn on Cobra Kai, which is a continuation of The Karate Kid. And we're coming out on Netflix August 28th, seasons 1 and 2, and then season 3 will follow. So check that out. And I've got some other stuff coming out too, and very excited for the business to open back up again. Had a couple of auditions today, got another audition tomorrow. So we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're staying safe and hopefully going to get back to work soon. I used to live in LA, but I'm all over, wherever. I live part of the time in Florida in the winter, and then my husband and I have a house up in the North Carolina mountains up above Asheville. So we're usually there from about May until November. So I'm in Atlanta, I'm in New York quite often, but this year is so messed up that, I've been in North Carolina quite a bit. But hopefully that's going to be changing soon, and we'll be able to get back to work and stay safe and, travel a little bit. I played the role of homeless Lynn. Lynn is this very sassy and provocative homeless woman that lives right outside of the Cobra Kai dojo. And she just really enjoys giving Johnny Lawrence a hard time or hustling coin at her mark. She's very territorial. She's sort of the comic relief, and she's absolutely filthy. So I go through this transformation process in hair and makeup and wardrobe, down to painting each one of my teeth individually brown, and then they come back and paint darker brown in between them. And I'm covered with dirt makeup. They do each one of my fingers, my nails, my feet, everything. So it's quite a transformation, but it's a blast, and I'm hideous, and it's hilarious. So I've really enjoyed it. So much fun. It's not something that my agents would typically think of me in that kind of character role, but I actually saw it myself and did a self-submission on Actors Access, which is a self-submission site connected to the breakdown services, but it's for more of a regional basis. And it was just a long shot, but I love character type roles, and I really have been trying to get out of that box the last few years and doing lots of indie films, short films where I can possibly play the lead. And if the lead, if it's a really dramatic piece, or, some crazy lady or whatever, just something that I can sink my teeth into. That's what I've been doing. So when I saw this role for the homeless woman for Lynn on Cobra Kai, I knew immediately that this show was going to be huge because it's a continuation of the Karate Kid movies, and it stars Ralph Macchio and William Zabka and Martin Kove. So you've got the three main stars from the Karate Kid movies in this new television show, and the big three creators, John Hurwitz, Josh Hield, and Hayden Schlossberg, created Cobra Kai, and they were just diehard fans of the Karate Kid series. So it spans creating for fans. So it's been like a dream of theirs since they were young. And I just thought, wow, this thing is going to be so awesome. And it was such a long shot. I didn't even tell my agent that I was doing it. The one agent in Atlanta, which is where it shoots, knows that I am very proactive, and so I don't tell them everything I'm doing. They just get calls and they're like, oh yeah, okay, great. But when they got a call for a callback for the homeless woman, they thought that they had made some kind of mistake. So when the agent called me, she said, Susan, you have a callback with the producers of Cobra Kai as Lynn, the homeless woman. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. And so, I was like, great, but oh my gosh, now I've got to, meet these guys. So my husband was like, well, you've got to go in complete character and stay in character the whole time. So I did. I dressed in character as much as I could and messed up my hair. And I was telling the security guard when I drove into the parking lot at the casting director's office, I said, no, remember what I look like. This is me. So let me get back in this car. Don't call the police when I come out. So he's like, you look great. You're going to do great. So it was very exciting. And I got the part. So I'm so grateful. I was in episode 1 of season 1, and that's when they introduced me. And it was, I mean, you know, it's the first episode, so they're introducing everybody and reintroducing people. And since I hang out and live outside of the Cobra Kai dojo, of William Zabka's character, Johnny Lawrence, I was in that scene, and I got to witness the first fight of Johnny Lawrence, the first kick Johnny Lawrence ever made 30 years later in Cobra Kai. So Lynn's just hanging out and stealing his pizza while he's fighting all these guys. And it was just, you know, I just felt like history was being made, that these guys, you know, they had it going on, and the writing is so good, and everybody is just so happy to be there, and they love this project so much. So the energy is great. And yeah, it was a real honor and quite memorable to witness, you know, Johnny Lawrence's first kick, you know. So it was great. I'll never forget it. Somewhat, you know, I mean, I was doing my own thing back in the 80s, and I mean, everybody knew who the Karate Kid was, but I wouldn't say that I was this huge fan. I mean, yeah, I liked the movie or whatever, but I was quite familiar with it when I saw it on the breakdown. I know exactly, you know, what that was and what that could mean. But and also, I just wanted to share this too. When William Zabka, when his character Johnny had the first fight that I got to witness, it was that's the closest I've ever been to big fights, and the choreography was just incredible, and the stunt players and the stuntmen and the coordinator, they just did an amazing job. And William Zabka was so professional and so caring, and all the guys, there was just this camaraderie and this fellowship among them as they were fighting, and then they would cut, and you know, he was constantly checking, are you okay, everything all right? And so I thought that was really interesting to be able to see. It's almost like a dance, and of course they had worked on it quite a bit, no telling how long before they actually shot the scene. So those guys worked really, really hard, and it was just amazing. I haven't yet. I haven't yet. So there's no telling what, you know, what direction they're going to take this character, because she is, you know, she provides a comic relief, but she's pretty interesting and quite feisty, and they could do a lot of different things with her. So we'll see. You know, I've had the honor of meeting him, and he is just such a great guy. And they're just so, I mean, they've been waiting 30 years. They're just so in love with this whole project. And it you know, it starts from the top. It starts with the big three, and then with Billy and Ralph, and then and Marty Cove is wonderful and a great actor. I mean, they're all pros, and everybody is just so happy to be there and working really, really hard. Yeah, the fans are very anxious to see, because, you know, we were on YouTube and then we moved to Netflix. So this is going to be huge for us, dropping on August 28th. Right now, you can see all 3 of the Karate Kid movies on Netflix. So go ahead and binge those. And a lot of people are, they've been telling me. And then on August 28th, you'll be ready for Cobra Kai season 1 and Cobra Kai season 2. You can binge those, and then you'll be, you know, up and running and ready to go for season 3 when it's going to hit. So the fans are anxiously awaiting season 3 of Cobra Kai. I'm just happy. I'm in one episode. I think it's episode 4, and I'm just grateful for that they, you know, as long as they just keep bringing Lynn back, you know, that's what matters. Fans are wonderful. I mean, the best fans ever. As a matter of fact, Homeless Lynn has her own Facebook page now that was created by the fans and is run by the fans. I engage on it regularly because I really enjoy the fans, but they're incredible. But they, you know, they've been waiting all this time. They're all, the majority of them. Of course, we have, you know, quite a few new Cobra Kai fans, but there are so many Karate Kid fans that have been around forever. And I think Billy and Ralph and Marty had continued all these years to attend Comic-Cons and sign autographs for the Karate Kid fans. And they have quite a following, and they have just embraced my character and me and been so supportive and um, just lovely and creative. They're also creative. They make these memes of either homeless Lynn or, all of the characters in the show. There's been some trading cards made up, and I've got a bobblehead doll of homeless Lynn that someone had made up. It's just incredible. So it's been quite a blessing for me. Queering is wonderful. That's a web series. It's on YouTube for free. We've shot 2 seasons, and they're short little episodes, so it's very easy to watch. But it's really well done. The writing is fantastic. Letitia Bertoli and the other cast members, it's shot in Brooklyn, are just phenomenal. And I'm really, really proud and honored to be part of that. We actually were selected to screen at South by Southwest Film Festival in 2019. So that opened up some doors for us. And we had to make the decision, are we going to shoot a season 3? Because our first season had over 1 million views on YouTube quickly, and we wanted to do something for the fans. And I think we did 5 episodes in season 1 and 6, maybe in season 2. And really, we decided to do Queering the movie, which we were going to start shooting this past April in New York. COVID hit, so it just wasn't meant to be at that time. But hopefully, there'll come a time, maybe in the fall, when we can go ahead and circle back and start looking at that again. But that's where we are, is we're still kind of in a waiting game to start shooting Queering the movie. But yeah, you just put in Queering web series or Queering in YouTube and check it out. And I play a bisexual woman who is coming out to her lesbian daughter, but it's done with humor and a lightness, and the characters are fun. So it's highlighting a very sensitive subject, but done, I think, brilliantly with the writing. And you don't have to be, gay or bisexual to like it. I mean, lots of my straight friends like it. My husband loves it. He thinks it's really well done, and it's funny, and there's touching moments, but then there's a lot of humor in it. So at the finale of season 2, I'm very proud of that. My character, there's some major things that happen with my character. And so the fans are kind of waiting, well, what did she do, right? So it'll be interesting to see what direction Val is the name of my character. Val goes in. It's putting a spotlight on a lot of that too, and plus the relationship between a mother and her adult children. And I'm recently divorced, a retired dentist. So it touches on a lot of different things, and plus too the changing relationships between Val and her friends since she's come out are surprising to her. So there's a groundedness to this character, but there's also, she's also a little bit naive because this is all new territory for her. So we'll see where it goes for Val. Producer on Queering the movie. I had also self-submitted for the first season of Queering myself, because it was shooting in New York and it was a webisode. So agents usually don't handle those because there's not going to be enough money for them to make. But I love New York and I'm there quite often. And I saw this character and I thought, oh my gosh, I have got to do this. So I met with the creator and actually read opposite of Sophia Grasso, who plays Harper, my daughter, and Diana O, who plays her roommate, who is absolutely phenomenal and hilarious. You've got to see Diana O in this show. And we just all clicked. Everybody loved it. It was like this labor of love. And then in the second season, I came on as an associate producer. And then the Queering, I'm very involved in that, Queering the movie. So I'm proud. My production company, little production company, Her Little Red Productions, we try to focus on female-driven projects, female empowering projects, and this was just right up my alley. So yeah, I'm going to be more involved on the producing side as well as playing Val. they're so different. I mean, my favorite character would have to be Lynn, the homeless woman, because she is so feisty and very provocative and so different from me. I mean, I really, if you didn't know I was playing this character, you would not recognize me as playing this character. So I would say that she's my most fun, but I mean, being part of queering has been a great honor for me because I think it's an important topic. But I've also had the privilege of working opposite Holly Hunter, David Strathairn, Kyle Chandler, a lot of wonderful actors that, it's like a dream for me to work opposite them and to collaborate. And, so I'm just so grateful to still be doing this, number one, because it's such a tough business. And even though obviously nobody knows who I am, you don't know who I am yet, but I have felt like taking a risk, like with Lynn and Queering and some other very dramatic type films. I played a woman who has early onset Alzheimer's last year, that's coming out this year, called I'll Be Here for a While, opposite David Call. He plays my son. He's phenomenal. And that was quite challenging for me. But I like projects that are challenging. And that's what attracts me is complicated characters and more challenging roles where you can really, really sink your teeth into it. And I just find those more interesting and more rewarding. It's a tough business. There is a lot of rejection. It's mostly rejection. So you have to accept that when you sign on, because you can't go through your life whining and complaining and getting depressed because you didn't get the job, or you got the job and they lost their funding, or you got the job and you shot it and then you ended up on the editing room floor, which has happened to me. I cannot even tell you how many times. You get the job, you think this is your big break, and then, something horrible happens. So you have to have a life. Acting is part of my life. It's a big part of my life. It's my passion. I have to do it. It feeds my soul and I just love it. But I have a life. I have a family. I have friends. I have hobbies. I have interests. And you have to have a life. I think it makes you a better actor, number one. And, just a more well-rounded human being, because I have seen numerous people in this business make acting or performing or whatever it is, theater, their entire life. And they invest everything in that, so that when the disappointments come, which are going to come, that's just life. It's very difficult for them to keep going. And I think that's one reason that I've lasted this long, is that, I've tried to keep it in perspective. And early in the years, I took everything personally, and I would, just wait for the phone to ring and blah, blah, blah. And, I had to work through that, or I wasn't going to last. So I had a lot of support from my family, and they wouldn't let me whine, and every time I'd say, I'm quitting, I'm giving, da, 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 da. After a few years of that, they're like, yeah, she's not. So you just have to accept that that's what you sign up for. This business is not an 8 to 5 regular paycheck kind of job. And if anybody has any questions for me more, reach out to me on social media. I'm very active, and I love helping younger people, younger women, and anything that I can do, or any, thing that I've learned that I can share to maybe help somebody else along the way. I'm all about that. So
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.